Welcome back, Mando.
Oh, greetings, Bucketheads, and welcome to another Bantha Tracks bonus episode. We're going to the movies. This is, of course, the MandoVision podcast, and I am your host, Narguy Tom. Thank you so much for being here and checking out and always supporting the show. Find us on those socials at Mando_Vision on X and Insta, MandoVision at Blue Sky, and of course, you can email me, MandoVisionTom@gmail.com. Thanks for all the likes, subscribes, follows, and sharing this show with all the Mandalorians in your covert. All right, Bucketheads, like we talked about before, we've been going to the movies this summer. And, just a general observation from the summer so far. And again, we're in August, so when I say so far, I think you guys know what I mean. But movies are back, man, in a big, bad way. Like, this has been the most trafficked I've seen theaters in quite some time, and it's a good thing. It is. I'm glad people are back going out to the movies again. And don't get me wrong, I am the guy. I love watching movies at home. I love being at home on my couch with my dogs, with my snacks, with my beers, and having my feet up and being real comfortable and not having the only person I have to shush. Well, we won't say, but there's a person in this house sometimes needs to be shushed, and I shush. I'm a shusher. So, I love being able to stream movies, and a lot of times I still will wait to stream a lot of things. But this summer, I have observed, and I've been to many a movie that has been just jam-packed. Packed theaters on the weekends, at night, on weeknights. A lot of people getting out. My job is next to an AMC, and pretty much every night I come out of my job when I have a night shift, the parking lot is full, and everyone is at the theater because that's the only thing left that's open, and it's great. It's good to see, and I think by and large, at least in my experiences so far, people are behaving themselves in the theaters. I haven't seen too many incidences of phones going on and chit chat going on and those kind of things that really just annoy me these days. I think part of that is possibly due to the people who have like the new phone feature, that new privacy thing. So like only like you can see your screen. I think that's helping a lot. So maybe if you're checking your phone, I just can't notice it. But that's great. I don't mind if that's cool. Don't take me out of the moment. However, one thing that did occur that did take me out of the movie and made it somewhat of a challenge to enjoy myself and get lost in the film. Don't be stinky. Don't be stinky. I am a proponent of good hygiene. I am a person who will, not all the time, but will take multiple showers in a day if I feel the need. And I'm just asking that you take one before you come out to the theater. I don't know your situation. I don't know. Maybe you have some kind of skin condition that prevents you from you can't get soapy. I don't know. But if that's the case, you need to be aware that you have an odor that emanates from your body that is repulsive. And stay out of a packed theater on opening weekend. That's not cool, man. That is not cool. You were very distracting. Very distracting. And I've had this happen twice now. The first time was like maybe a year or 2 years ago, when I went to an anniversary screening for Dogma, and Kevin Smith was going to be there to do a Q&A, and another unwashed person was very nearby, and very pungent, stings the nostrils, and that was bad. That was a bad one. This one was not great, but it was far enough away that it was just annoying. And you could see people every now and again look around. And at one point, someone looked at me, and I saw them look at me, and I just shook my head. Not me. So I trust me, I was aware of the odor, and the other people were as well. And it's not cool. It's not cool. It's not cool. Clean clothes, clean body, soap, shampoo, awesome, good stuff. Be hygienic if you're going to be out in public. I already don't like the fact that you're probably coming out in your pajamas, but you're probably doing it anyways. I hate that. Personally, I hate that. But at least be clean if you're wearing your pajamas. Wash those pajamas. Wash them. And you probably should wash them after you've been in the movie theater with them on. Like, you don't know who's been sitting in those seats. There's a stinky guy in the theater. You got to burn that place down now. That chair has to be eliminated from the world. It's been contaminated and ruined. All right, enough of that tirade. That will segue into the first movie that we saw, because the theater in which I sat with a stinky man was to watch Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. And let me tell you, friends, I loved it. Just like a lot of other people, I loved it. I know there is some haters out there, a little bit of backlash about people not being particularly big fans of the casting choices in the film, or of the sort of modern day English with which they speak. I was okay with all of it. I got into it pretty quickly. I didn't have a problem with it. But once I got used to it, it was no big deal. It was just part of the movie. Yes, initially it was a little weird to see Tom Holland as something other than Spider-Man, because I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Tom Holland movies that aren't Spider-Man. So that threw me off for a moment, but I got used to it and got pretty acclimated to him being in this movie not as Spider-Man. I very much like the cast of this movie. I know, again, I work with some people who have sort of banged on the fact that like Christopher Nolan just casts the same people over and over and over again. I don't see it that way at all. I think these people are all really good actors, and I had no problem with that whatsoever. I don't know how you all felt about it. As far as the movie goes, I loved it. I mean, it was fantastic. I wish I was able to be more immersed into the story, but the Stinky Man was distracting. He was very distracting. And I'll be honest, I am not the best in a 3-hour movie. I get fidgety, I get squirmy. I just don't like sitting there for that long. It's hard for me. But I was very engrossed in the movie, so that I didn't have that come up. It's come up in the past in 3-hour movies, not so much this time. It was very minor. I got a little fidgety just because like my seat wasn't super comfortable. I did not pick the best theater in the world to see the film in, so my chair was a little not great. But that's okay, because it's like if I went to the fancy seat theater, there's a possibility I would have just fallen asleep because I would have been too comfortable. So you got to ride that line. You got to walk that line. But otherwise, yes, the Odyssey is probably the movie of the summer. I think it's going to have a lot of legs. It's going to be in cinemas for quite some time. I am probably going to try and go back and see it in 70 millimeter. I haven't pulled the trigger on that just yet. I'm kind of waiting for the crowds to die back a little bit. I do have tentative plans to do that next week, but we'll see. We'll see if I keep them, or if I kick those tickets back. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't have much to say about it other than like it's the kind of movie that you go to the cinemas to see. It is grandiose. It is spectacle. It is Greek mythology brought to life by one of the great film directors of our time, and it's fantastic. I know recently it's come out that Emily Wilson, who did the most recent well-known translation of both the Iliad and the Odyssey, not a fan of the movie, even though Christopher Nolan pretty much is a fan of what she did for this book. Her translation is what sort of inspired his take in this movie. And so that's a little bit of a bummer, a little disappointing. But I read her comments, and while I understand the point she's making, it's a 3-hour movie. The Odyssey is a really long poem, and there's a lot of layers and complexity into it. And I think any filmmaker would have just picked the themes that they wanted to tackle because they had about 3 hours worth of story to tell. So I understand the choices that Nolan made, but I understand why Emily Wilson's not like stoked on the film. in many senses, because there is a lot sort of left on the table that Nolan could have played with. But by and large, this movie is worth your time, worth your energy, worth your attention. Go see it. It's worth being in the theaters for. Hopefully, your neighbors are more hygienic than mine were, and you don't get as taken out of the flick as I did. Also, there's a lot of eating going on in that movie theater when I got there. A lot of eating. So much food. It was a lot. I was like, whoa. You guys, disposable income for days in that movie theater. Holy Toledo. I just had a bag of dried mangoes in my pocket from work. So whatever. To each their own, I suppose. The other movie, the most recent movie we went to see in the cinema. We saw Spider-Man, and by we, I mean me. I saw Spider-Man Brand New Day. And let me tell you, friends, if you are a Marvel person, you are a Spider-Man person, you are a good movie person, this is a good movie. Go check it out. Again, Tom Holland as Spider-Man, what I've known him as for the last 10 years. We returned to the world of Spider-Man. It's been 5-ish years, I think, since the last installment of Spider-Man, when we got the world was told to forget who Peter Parker is. And this is the fallout of those actions, and who he is now, and who he's trying to be, and what the real cost of that spell is. You know, he did it to save his friends. He did it to save a lot of people. And this is about the cost. And it's a really, really good movie. There's a lot of strong action in here, but there's a lot of really strong emotion in here as well. There's a lot of, again, the movie just came out, so I'm not going to try and get too spoilery with everybody here. But I mean, it's about losing your support system and being alone and being sad because you're alone and you have no one to share your world with, your life with. You know, you are now so worried about protecting people from getting close to you that you have, you have nobody, and you can't not have anybody. You have to have somebody. We can't go through the world, and we can't go through life by ourselves. So it's a really interesting movie about the connections that we have to make to survive. So I think you'll really enjoy it. Again, good action. There's a lot of fun Marvel stuff in there. You know, characters show up that maybe you weren't expecting. And in the case of one character, you were definitely expecting them to show up. A character in the movie is the character that we all thought that character was going to be. Again, try not to spoil anything, but if you're aware of this movie at all, then you probably know what I'm trying to reference without referencing it. Go check out the new Spider-Man. It's fun. And again, I think the third act is fantastic. I really, really, really liked it. I like seeing John Bernthal as the Punisher. It's sort of an interesting version of him in this movie. It's still Punisher-y, but like not as hardcore Punisher-y, if you know what I mean. I had a good time. I had a blast. I hope you guys are going to check it out. It seems like you are. The records are breaking for this movie already. So I will probably check it out again at some point. We'll just see what kind of legs Spider-Man has, if you know what I mean. Yeah, pun intended on that one. But yeah, maybe I'll get back to the cinemas for that too, because I think movies are slowing down a little bit for me. Like the next bunch of stuff coming out here in August, I'm intrigued by, but I'm not sure I'll make the time for. So The Odyssey and Spider-Man might be something I revisit here in the coming weeks. But yeah, go check these out. It's a good time. If I were to let me put it this way. I know we all love rankings and we all love lists. I love The Odyssey. It is not my favorite Christopher Nolan movie though. There's a lot, but I mean, there's a lot of really good Christopher Nolan movies. So even if The Odyssey were like, I might say it's top 5 Christopher Nolan for me. But I have to really think about that. I know. I think I might need a couple more viewings on it to really, really decide on that. I think if I were to say right now, my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, it might be The Prestige. Hard to say though. I think they're all so good. They're all so good. And then for Spider-Man, if I were to rank, Okay, ranking Spider-Man movies is a little challenging. Ranking the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, however, this might be the best. It's up there. It's really up there. I love Homecoming, mostly because Michael Keaton's so great in it. And the last one with all the other Spider-Man was really, really enjoyable and fun too. But this one I think passes that one, and it's right there neck and neck with Tom Holland's debut, I think. I don't know. We'll see. Again, multiple viewings will help me sort of decide that, and making. I don't want to make big proclamations, but the new Spider-Man, Brand New Day, is very, very good. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll like the things that it's talking about, the sort of themes in the movie. So go check it out. Go to the theaters, and if you are anywhere on the planet, I suspect it's hotter than heck wherever you are, because it is here. So get outside, get out, get in, go inside from outside. Find that air-conditioned theater. Let them blast you with cold air for a couple of hours, and you can be entertained and munch on some popcorn. All right, this is MandoVision at the movies, and we're going to get out of here. So, again, thank you for all the support, the downloads, the likes, the subscribes, the shares. Really, truly appreciate it. Go out there, be great Star Wars fans, kind, supportive, respectful, tolerant, patient, embracing of others, and all that good stuff. This is the MandoVision podcast. I am your host, Our Guy Tom. Follow us on those socials, Mando_Vision on X and Insta, MandoVision at Blue Sky. And, of course, you can email the show, MandoVisionTom@gmail.com. All right, Bucketheads, we'll be back very, very soon. But remember, this podcast, it only ends one way. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.